This is Philadelphia Eagles Now. My name is Chase Senior. Thanks for hanging out here with me. Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to give you my keys to the game. Top matchups to watch between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills. What the Eagles must do to win. And, of course, I'm going to give you my prediction as well. As is always the case this time of year, end of December in Buffalo, weather going to play a role in this football game potentially. And as of right now, during the daytime, and keep in mind the kickoff is set for 4:25 p.m. Eastern, going to be hovering around 40 degrees, but a mix of rain and freezing rain early. Wind is also going to play a role in this game too, so passing could be affected. As this game transitions from daytime to nighttime, temperature's going to drop, and it's going to drop precipitously. When that sun goes down, temperatures could be between 20 and 30 degrees. That rain could turn into snow, and the snow could accumulate nighttime 1, 2, 3 inches. But as Jalen Hurts always likes to say, rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles are trained to go. As we always like to do with our previews, we like to set the table, set the foundation, and take a look at how both these teams fare on both sides of the football. And we'll get to that here in a moment. But I do want to remind people this right here. The Eagles can no longer get the number one seed and home field advantage in the NFC because of the Niners beating the Colts on Monday Night Football in Week 16. But Philadelphia can still get that number 2 seed in the conference, and that's what they had last year, and they still hosted the NFC Championship game. In order for that to happen, the Eagles need to win out against Buffalo and Washington. They need the Bears to lose twice, at San Francisco, home against Detroit, or Seattle needs to lose twice in their last 2 games, on the road against Carolina, on the road against the Niners, and the Niners need to lose to Chicago, and the Rams have to lose once, either on the road against Atlanta or at home against Arizona. Either way, Eagles sitting pretty right now, still a lot left to accomplish, and I agree with Nick Sirianni. I think the starters need to play in this game against Buffalo. Let's take a look at how the Bills stack up. I told you it was coming on offense. They're a really, really good team and very explosive. What's fascinating about this is that their wide receiver talent, they have a bunch of 2s, 3s, and 4s. But because Josh Allen is so good, look at where they rank on offense. And Joe Brady's done a hell of a job since taking over for Ken Dorsey as offensive coordinator, calling the offense, but I also like how much more balanced Buffalo has been with Joe Brady calling the offense. They're 4th in points per game at 28.9, 4th in yards per game at 373.1, 6th in yards per play with 6 a pop, 4th on third downs, number 7 in the red zone. On defense, this is supposed to be Sean McDermott's specialty. They're 15th in points per game at 22.9, so middle of the pack, 11th in yards per game, 20th in yards per play. Philadelphia should be able to generate some chunk plays and explosives. 27th on third downs, 19th in the red area. You flip the page to the Eagles here. Better offensive performances over the last couple of weeks. They've increased their points per game output to 23.3. That's good for 16th in the league. 22nd in yards per game, still just okay. 17th in yards per play, average. 24th on third downs, but in the red zone, they are scoring touchdowns when they get inside the red area nearly 72% of the time. On defense, Vic Fangio's unit giving up the 3rd least amount of points per game at 19.3. They're 12th in yards per game surrendered, 8th in yards per play, 18th on third downs. But the big one here, number 4 in the red zone, forcing a lot of field goals when the opposition gets inside the 20. With that, my keys to the game, top matchups to watch between the Eagles and the Bills. I can't wait for this matchup to see how this Eagles defense fares against Josh Allen. He's playing like the best quarterback in football right now. I like to call him an alien with his size, his arm, but his ability to carve you up and hurt you with his feet. And defending him is an absolute chore. Has an opportunity to win his 2nd straight MVP award. He's completing nearly 70% of his passes. With 2 games left, he's already thrown for more than 3,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 picks, and he's run for 552 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns on the ground. When the Bills are in short yardage situations, you will see Buffalo run the tush push, even though Sean McDermott voted to banish it this offseason. The keys to defending Josh Allen. This is so important. Philadelphia has to have disciplined pass rush lanes because Allen can hurt you out of structure. Quarterback containment, keeping him inside the pocket, is going to be paramount. And then lastly, finishing plays to get Josh Allen on the ground. He's 6'6". Sometimes you think that you might have him bottled up, and then he's able to wrestle free, escape, and make a play downfield. Whether it's a bomb 40 yards downfield or is able to pick up a first down with his feet. Make sure that when you get to Josh Allen, you get him on the ground. Now, the Eagles have had success the last 2 years against mobile quarterbacks. You think about how Philadelphia fared last year against Lamar Jackson. Of course, he's going to get his from time to time. Philadelphia won the game. Their defense was really good. In the Super Bowl, Philadelphia did not blitz once, and they got to Patrick Mahomes all night. He's very mobile, like Josh Allen. They're going to have to play like that against the Bills on Sunday. Key to the game number 2, I need to see this Eagles offense continue with their progress. The last 3 games, we have seen a lot of encouraging signs from the offensive unit. Nick Sirianni has taken on more of a role with this offense, and we have seen some major changes. And some of the offensive things that I like, Jalen Hurts has been under center. That has gotten the play-action pass game going. It has tied his drop back to timing routes. It's also led to success for the run game, whether it be Saquon Barkley, Tank Bigsby. Finding success in empty. Philadelphia really diced up Washington when Hurts was in the shotgun in empty formations. They have forced the opposition to spread out and defend them from sideline to sideline. What that also does, teams aren't able to stack the box. So that's when you can call a quarterback draw, and Hurts can run it up the middle to great levels of success. I like how the Eagles are calling more crossing routes. Makes more sense. They're running a lot more pre-snap motion. They've kind of gone away from the outside zone runs that weren't working. They're running more inside zone runs. It helps this Eagles team live up to their physicality and wanting to play bully ball. That's their brand. And most importantly, in the last 2 games, after Jalen Hurts turned it over 5 times against the Chargers, he's been smart, efficient, playing clean ball, 5 touchdowns, no picks in the last 2 ball games. And speaking to point number 3 here, look at this route chart for A.J. Brown against Washington. We have been asking for this, clamoring for this all season long, starting with that Chargers game. A.J.'s route charts starting to look a lot like this. He's lined up outside on the right, outside on the left, in the slot on the right, slot to the left. He's running crossers. He's running out routes. They are doing things to maximize the special skill set of A.J. Brown, and he could become the first player in Eagles franchise history to have 4 1,000-yard seasons. He's closing in on that, and he can do it 4 times in a row, which has never been done before. Can the Eagles' run game get going? Philadelphia should be able to run the football successfully against this Buffalo team. We showed you the numbers a little bit earlier about how the Bills have been faring on offense. Well, they're missing a key cog potentially in this game and a couple of key players in this game, which could hurt their run defense. And this Eagles rushing offense has started to click of late. And really, it's taken place over the last 3 games. Saquon Barkley against the Chargers in primetime, 20 carries, 122 yards, 6.1 yards per carry, and a touchdown. He had that long touchdown of 50+. Against the Raiders, 22 carries for 78 yards, only 3.5 yards per carry, but the Eagles ran it nearly 40 times. Tank Bigsby had a lot of success, and as a team, Philadelphia ran for over $1, and Saquon Barkley found the paint. Then against the Commanders, Saquon with that angry run late in the game. Vintage 2024 Saquon, 21 totes for $132, 6.3 yards per carry, and 1 rushing touchdown. In 6 of the last Eagles' 8 games, they have tapped into what made them a great football team last year. That's running the football efficiently and successfully. Philadelphia in 6 of the last 8 games have run as a team for more than 100 yards, and that has been huge. Without Shaq Thompson last week, the Browns ran for 160 rushing yards. They averaged 5 yards per carry. And this weather, sleet, snow, cold, windy, favors running the rock. Key to the game number 4. Jake Elliott, get your shit together, for lack of a better term. Nick Sirianni said on Monday, we're rolling with Jake Elliott. They're not even bringing in kicking competition. He better get it right for the postseason. Now, in his postseason career, he's been money. He's been clutch. He's like 26 of 27 in his playoff career. This season, though, Jake Elliott once again struggling. A career low with his field goal percentage at 70.8%. He's only 17 of 24 on kicks of 40-plus yards. Hasn't been the same old reliable Jake the Make Elliott. He's been Jake Missy Elliott, 6 of 9 from 40-plus. And then from 50 or more yards, 4 of 8. Over his last 2 seasons on kicks of 50 or more yards. In the year of the kicker, in a time where kickers are blasting kicks 50 to 60 yards and making them with ease, hitting the back net, Jake Elliott on distance kicks of 50 or more yards is 5 of 15. This is a game that could be decided on the margins, by one score. It could be altered by an extra point or a field goal because I think these two teams match up very well against one another. And the difference could be a Jake Elliott miss or a Jake Elliott make. Be Jake the Make. Don't be Missy Elliott. Lastly, these Eagles linebackers going to be tested. Cooper DeJean being named to his first Pro Bowl on Tuesday, going to be tested. The Bills have 2 really excellent tight ends, and those 2 tight ends can really tax the defense. Now, the Bills' top wide receiver is Khalil Shakir. I wouldn't say that he puts a lot of fear into the defense, but he's a good player. Smaller, but shifty. And he has 66 catches for 684 yards and 4 touchdowns. Definitely the number 1 target for Josh Allen in the pass game. But the Bills also have 2 really good tight ends who I like a lot. Dalton Kincaid, loved him coming out of Utah. 36 grabs for 523 and 5 touchdowns. He's 6'4", 240, and he's more in the mold of like a Zach Ertz, where he's not overly physical, but he's a productive pass catcher. Dawson Knox, on the other hand, more of that physical tight end who's a better blocker, and he has a size advantage. 6'4", 254, but he too gets involved. 29 grabs for 363 yards and 3 touchdowns. So with that, the stage is set, baby. Let's go. Eagles-Bills. No plastic table is safe outside of Highmark Stadium. Who you got in this football game? Type PHI for the Eagles, BUF for Buffalo. I think this game is close. I think it comes down to the wire. And how about this for a storyline? Jake Elliott redeems himself, goes perfect on the day, and hits a couple of big kicks when the pressure is on. Philadelphia wins 27-25. I'm believing in this football team. I think what they're doing offensively is working. They have found a level of confidence, and this defense is really good as well.